Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing coming to you with another tutorial. This is a project that I have done in the past, but as I've mentioned in the earlier video, I am struggling this week with a cold and just a lot of work difficulties and challenges. So I come home and I'm pretty well fried. So, but I had prepped all this last night, so I thought I would go ahead and get this recorded for you. Today it will go up on the channel on Wednesday. When you watch it, it will be Wednesday, September the 17th. So we are going to make these cute little paper clips. I'm going to show you how to make them two ways. So one where your paper clip sticks out of the front, but it is still hidden, and one where it's embedded and you don't even see the paper clip at all. So this is one of them that I made. This is for the Sunflower Fairy journal. Okay, like that. And then let me just grab a piece of paper here. I should have grabbed before I turn the camera on so I can show you what it looks like on a page. So this is not a whole page, but you get the idea. This is going to go on the side of a page. So it's this big part here that's going to clip on. Okay, so if this one has a small paper clip, and which is plenty, and what's nice about it is you still have enough strength in there to be able to hold paper under there as well if you wanted it to have be multifunctional. So just walked in the door from work, so this could be a rough go. But I have to get it done because I'm behind. So there we go. Autumn blessings and harvest blessings. This is another one that I did. This is for the autumn journals, and how beautifully leaves grow old. That is very true. I did a die cut. I'm going to show you the dies that I used in case you're interested. And then we've got on this side, anyone who thinks fallen leaves are dead has never watched them dancing on a windy day. I've mentioned before, fall is hard for me. And so I'm reading these quotes as I'm using it. I'm really grateful for them because it helps me kind of tweak my brain and reframe the season in a different way. So this one goes on the same way. This one has a pocket though. So it has just a pocket, just an individual pocket here. And I've done these before where they've been fully stuffed, like pockets on all sides, but I wanted to keep this simple this time around. Hooks on the page the same way. So the paper clip is in here, which will make more sense here in a second. This one is also the same as that one. I also did a die cut using this Sizzix leaf die. So we're going to be maybe playing around with that. We'll see. So those are the three that I made. These are the two sizes. So I didn't end up making any of this size. I think I'm making one of them today. We're going to make two on camera. I think I'm going to make one this size and one this size. So these will be available in the photos at the end. This one, the larger base, is 3.5 inches wide by 10 3/4 in total length, and then it is folded. This one is 3 by 8.5, so the second piece, and that'll make more sense in a second. This one has a pocket here and a pocket here. We're going to try to do that today. I didn't actually make that a pocket. It's more like a a belly band. I forgot to glue that other edge. So this one measures, the large base here measures 3 by 10 3/4, and then the small one is 2 3/4 by 8.5, and then the pocket is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and it has a 1/4 inch gusset on 3 sides. Okay, I did forget to grab my cutter, so I'm going to do that really quick. Like I said, just literally walked in the door. I need to get this filmed because it needs to go up tomorrow. We had what would be considered Frog and Toad's wild day. It was a very wild day. We were down 3 staff and no subs, so it was crazy. Okay, so these are the dies I use. These are the leaf dies. These are really fun. I've used these in a variety of ways. I've used them to make stickers and other things. And then this is the other die I used. I used this one, and I believe I'm using this one in one of them that we're making today, but I'm just going to set those aside. I will try to remember to link those in the supply list. The supply list is always is over on my blog, and the link is down below in the video description box. I have my corner rounder if we want to make a notch for a pocket, my ink, a ruler so I can show you some measurements, corner rounder. I do like my corners rounded generally speaking, and some scissors in case we need it, and I'll grab my pencil as well. So let's see what we want to do first. So it looks like this is the small one. So let's go ahead and start with the small one. So we're going to follow this guide. Okay, so I've already cut everything just to keep the video a little bit shorter and the process a little bit more simple for me, as I need to do a lot, record, edit, and upload all tonight. So I'm going to bring my cutter over just so that you guys can see. Well, I guess we don't. We can just use a ruler, so I'll show you what we've got here. My apologies. So this is the smaller base, and again, it measures 2 3/4. Okay, by 10 and, oh, this one's not 10 3/4. Oh, 8 1/2. So this one's not quite 8 1/2. Oh, I guess it is just about 8 1/2. So again, you don't have to follow these instructions. You just want one of your top piece to be smaller than your bottom piece if you want that layered look. Okay, and then this one should be measuring 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches by, and this should be 10 3/4. It is just shy of 10 3/4. That was just the way that my cutting went, if I remember correctly. I like these two papers together because you've got these little hints of yellow in these flowers, and I thought that would be fun. I did link this kit in the previous video in the supply list over on my blog, so I will link it again and you can check that out. And so those are our 2 base pieces. So let's start with those. So we're going to start by folding this in half. Okay. I do like to print on the back of my pages for this project because sometimes those edges can show, and I don't necessarily want them to show. It looks like we've got some overhang here. What the what? It's okay. Let's just line it up as best we can. Oh my goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. Let's see, there we go. The brain is fried. I'm not feeling as sick as I was over the weekend, but I'm definitely not well. So we've got a crookedness here. So let me see if I can even that out. There we go, that's better. Give that a good crease at the top, and then go ahead and fold this one as well. We can decide once we get it folded which direction we want it, or which side we want to be front and back. And if for whatever reason your folds were not straight, you could always trim these up afterwards. So I think in this case I want, well, it doesn't really matter because both are going to be decorated. So it doesn't matter which one is which. So I'm thinking that I'd like this one to be the pocket side because we've got that leaf there and we've got room for a pocket here. We might lose a little bit of the leaf. So let's go ahead and round the corners on this. So I'm going to use the 10mm rounder, and I'm debating, I think I don't want to round the top, just the bottom. So we'll follow that here as well. Okay. And then let's go ahead and ink this up really quick so that we're ready to glue it together. So I will be right back. Okay. Don't really need to ink the inside of this because it's going to get completely glued down. But I do realize I need my white glue as well because we're going to make a pocket out of one of our flaps. So that will make more sense in a second. So when we put this on, we want to get our paper clip. I'm going to try to find a big one here. I prefer the big ones. Okay, and you're just going to put it on your larger piece, okay? I like to put the small side to the back, the short side to the back, like that. And I had some tape out yesterday. I think I'm going to grab it. I like being able to just secure it a little bit so that I don't have to worry about the glue doing all the work, at least initially. So let's just get a little piece of tape here. Now, oh, this one I think I want to show you. This is the smaller one. So we'll go, we'll just have that be snug to the top of this, so it's not going to stick out like the other sample that I showed you. Okay, just give that a little bit of tape there on both sides. Okay. And then what we're going to do, you do want to kind of look at your base and see what you want to be where in terms of the decoration. I feel like that's really cool, and that's kind of boring. So I think I want to flip this like this. Yeah, like that. Is that what I just did? I don't think so. Okay, so at this point, you don't even have to decide which side your pocket's going to go on. We can decide that in a second. Now, you do want to kind of line these up so that you have the same amount on either side. Okay, I hope you guys can see that right here and right here. And so I'm going to just kind of place that down. I forgot my Fabri-Tac as well. So let me just get that ready to go as well. I like to use Fabri-Tac because, again, I can move things. And I'm just going to turn it this way. And we're going to be able to fudge this. So I'm just going to leave it all straight like that so I know we're lining up. And then I'm going to put my Fabri-Tac all over this inside. And you guys have probably seen this a gazillion times, but I needed to get some ephemera done. And I didn't have any paper clips in one of the most recent journals I did. I don't think I did any paper clips, so I wanted to, any of these kinds of paper clips, I wanted to make sure that I got some done. So kind of just bringing you along for that ride. And then just go ahead and close that. And then I like to look and make sure that everything looks good on the sides. Okay, it's going to be, I'll show you how it, you're not going to be completely flush there because you've got that paper clip in the way on the top. So let's just press that down. Okay, well, I guess you do have to decide where your pocket's going to be, because if I had wanted my pocket to be on this side, it would be too late, because I'm going to actually make a pocket here. Okay, I need to grab a paper towel. So I see some glue oozing over here on this side, which is not a big deal. Okay, and some oozing glue. That was a lot of glue. It doesn't look like we're quite even. I wonder if we can fudge that over a little bit. I'm not too concerned about it. Nobody's going to be checking my work, but see how it's not flush because of that paper clip, and that's okay. So on this side, we want to be sure that we, I wish I could move that because it's affecting the back. Oh well. Okay, so on the back, obviously we've got a large paper clip there. So how am I going to handle that? Actually, I think I'm going to put more tape over this and really seal that paper clip in, because then I don't have to worry about things catching on it. So I might have the pocket go a little bit taller. I think I had a pocket cut, so let me look at that. I think I might have did it small. So yeah, I think I wanted it to be here. So it's only going to go about halfway. Okay, so on this side, we only want to put glue here, so here, here, and here, and we want this side to be open, but we only want it to be, let me measure the height here, so about 1 3/4 inches, so 1 3/4 inches. Oh, I need to do, sorry guys, I'm having to think this through now. 1 3/4 inches. I'm just trying to get a glue line. I should have probably explained that. So I'm getting my glue line there, okay? Because I don't need to, I can glue all of this. And let's see, let me make sure I'm thinking this through correctly. Yeah, I can glue all of this and then glue here and here, okay? So I'm going to start with my Fabri-Tac because it doesn't dry as fast as the white glue. So I'm going to just put a bunch of glue here all the way to the top and approximately to that pencil mark that I made. Okay. And then we'll go with our white glue. Sorry, I have to turn it. And this would be the bottom. Okay, the bottom. This side. And this side. Oh, come on, glue. Don't give me trouble. Okay, and then we're going to close that. And we're going to let it set. And so what we should have is, we should have this side completely sealed, and we have a glue line here, and we have a glue line here. But we need to let that sit before we play around with it, okay? There we go. But we can play around with the pocket. It is, wow, it is September 16th and it's 91 degrees outside today. I was not expecting that heat, so I am really, really warm today. And, you know, being short-staffed, we are zipping around like a bunch of maniacs trying to support all of our students and give them the same opportunities that they would have had if we were fully staffed. So my a piece measures should measure 3 1/4. Okay, so 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and it's going to have a 1/4 inch gusset. Okay, on 3 sides. So this side, the bottom, and the other side. So I'm having trouble with these gussets for some reason. I don't know if sometimes I'm looking at the wrong thing when I'm doing this, but it's been wrong from time to time. So I'm going to do the bottom, and then we're going to do this edge as well. Boom. Let me grab my fussy cut scissors and we'll do the little mitering of the corners here. So you want to miter those corners so they don't bind. Sorry for the phone. We'll let that play out. Sorry about that, guys. I did not get up to answer it, but I forgot to take the phone out. I always take the phone out when I'm filming because it just without fail it always rings when I'm doing a video, even though nobody is ever really calling that I need to answer. Once in a while. Okay, I'm just going to move that out of the way here so I can give that a good crease. So just going to crease out those folds. Okay, and then I feel like I need a smaller circle punch because this is a pretty small little thing. So let me find a smaller. I think this was the one I used before. This is I don't even know what size that is. It doesn't say. So we're just going to go smaller here, and I'm just aiming for the center as always. Okay. And let's go ahead and ink this up so that we get that nice and ready to go. And I'm going to miter these corners too. I forgot those. I often forget those. But sometimes they can show and that's not necessarily desired. Okay, so that's going to go on there. And we're going to raise it up because again, we've got that rounded edge. Oh, it's too big. What the what? Okay, what happened there? I wonder if we can move one of them just slightly over because that's a little bit too wide. I don't know what was wrong with my measurements here. Should be an easy fix though. Yeah, I got it over because I don't see any ink there. There's usually a way to fix things if they don't work out the way that you planned. Yeah, that's much better. So again, because of our rounded edges, we're gonna raise that up. So I'm gonna put glue. I'm gonna use my white glue, and I'm gonna just kind of open that up. Actually, I think this should be the other way, like that. Okay. And oh, now because I changed that gusset, I need to trim this a little bit more. Oh, the fun. Oh, the fun. You know what I mean? I'm going to use my white glue. And I'm going to put glue on all 3 sides. I'm really fighting to not be gone from work. I do not want to be sick. I don't want to start the year off with being gone from work. it's so frustrating. I mean, we've been in school for 3 weeks and most of our kids are getting sick, so which is pretty normal, but frustrating nonetheless. So there's our little pocket. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so we've got that. And then what I did is I already prepared, I think I had a little tab. Let me see if it's up here. Yeah, there it is. Got a little bit of a tab, and we're gonna go ahead and, this is gonna go in here. Okay, so I'm gonna round these corners as well. So I do wanna stick with the 10 millimeter. It's pretty big for such a small card, but I like to be unified in how rounded everything is in my projects. So let's just ink that up. Just a simple card. I think I've got a circle to stick in there too. So we'll ink that up at the same time and be done with that. We're going to do the decorating on the second one. We're not going to do decorating. Well, we've got a leaf, so we might do decorating on both. I forgot I had cut that leaf out. So let's go ahead and put this tab on. Alrighty. This is going to go on the top because we've got a top loading pocket. And so you kind of have to look at this and figure out which direction. It looks like it should be going that direction versus that. So we'll put that on there. Again, I'm not putting a bunch of seam binding on my stuff in this journal. If I want to add seam binding and eyelets, I can do that when I'm getting the journal finished. So that's just going to go in there, and then we've got a circle as well, which should fit. So let's ink that up as well. Nice to write on a little circle. It's a great way to get a small piece of ephemera without too much fuss. So stick that in there. Nice. And then I'm going to decorate this one off camera, but I do want to think about where I want to put this. I actually would love to have this on the front. But I don't think I want to do it with you guys because I don't have a word picked out or anything. So I'll be adding this off camera, but you can see what it looks like, everything looks like off camera. I wanted to focus more on the other one because it's going to be completely different. So we made this, okay? This is the same exact process, except the paperclip is buried and the dimensions are bigger, and I didn't put any pockets. It's just a straight up masked paper or hidden paper clip. So same thing here, and it's got a little bit, these aren't the same height, but that's okay. So I want to show you how to make one from the side that is a bigger, longer, taller, however you want to say that. So let's get that stuff out of the way. And I've got some paper over here. I've already pre-measured it. So my paper clip top is going to be 2.5 inches wide. This is 5 inches. So I want to score this. I want to fold this in half. Okay. And we're going to use 2 large paper clips on this one, I believe, if I can remember how to do this. Fingers crossed, and the toes. Okay, like that. So that's the top piece, and it's beautiful on both sides, which is what I love. And I like that it's taller. You do have to use more than one paper clip when you do this, otherwise it can, I've tried it without doing that, and it's a little bit weird. So this piece, so obviously this measured 5 inches in total width, and this measures, I believe, 7 inches. So we're going to do the same. We're going to fold this in half, hot dog style. Okay, like that. I have no idea what I'm going to put on these because I don't know if we're going to be able to decorate because I didn't really prep anything for this. I thought I had a die cut, but what did I do with the, maybe it was just that other leaf I did, which doesn't fit for this journal. So we may or we may not decorate this one on camera. Okay, so let's go ahead and round our corners also on this because I love that look. So we're just going to round those together. It's a little bit off. It's not quite straight. I've got a little bit of an overhang here, which means my folding is not perfect, but it looks pretty good. You're not going to notice because they're going to be on opposite pages, opposite sides of the page. So let's do the same here. And I put a note out on my community tab about comments. Like I really, it's valuable to me. It's important to me to get to all of my comments, and I will do that. I'm going to plan on doing that, starting that tonight, and get through it probably pretty quickly, but I just needed to rest these last few days and really try to get ahead of the curveball here of the sickness. So okay, now again, you don't necessarily have to do any inking on this because it's not going to show. It's all going to get glued down versus this where you're going to potentially see those edges. So I am going to go ahead and ink all the outside edges here on both sides of the inside. Both sides of the inside. That makes sense. Okay, let's see if I got another big paper. Got two here, but that one's kind of wonky. So let's see if I got a better one in here. I should have pulled, I was meant to pull more big ones over here out of the other area. Well, I do not have another big one. This one's kind of bent. So let's see if I can bend it back. Restore it to, oh, that should work. Okay, so we're going to turn this back again. And so again, you're looking at this like, what do you want to have show where? Okay, so, well, actually in this case, it has to go this way because, oh, that's so much bigger. What? I did a whole inch bigger, which I don't really care for that, but we're going to stick with it. Okay. So this, the important part of this is, oh, this is too, that's why, because I didn't cut this down. Okay, this is not cut down right. So I'm going to just move this down so that we've got about 1/4 of an inch on the top and the bottom. My apologies, guys. It's a foggy brain. And we're going to just go ahead and slice that off there. And I'm just going to leave all this together. It's not a problem. And then just give that a slice. And then I actually want to keep that all that width because I think it's pretty. So let me just round this corner again and re-ink. I guess I didn't ink that side at all. There we go. Now we're ready. So now, I mean, I suppose you could go like this. Okay, go this way with it. Oh, wait a minute. What am I thinking? Yeah, that works. Yeah, that works. Either way. So which way do we want it to be? I think I want it to be this way. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and put our paper clips on here. So I'm going to just turn this way so I can kind of see where I get the distance. Well, the distance is about the same from either end. It doesn't really matter. I just don't want them to be like wildly different. So I'm going to put the short part to the front. I think that's what I did before. And doesn't really matter in my opinion. And then you can kind of adjust these a little bit if you want to bring them in like that. Okay. This one seems bigger, doesn't it? Isn't that strange? It is bigger. Not that it matters. Okay. So for my purposes, I do need to turn this again so that I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to move this out a little bit for the moment because I want to get glue all over here. And I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac again. All over this whole side that's going to flip over. Fold over, rather. And I think I'm going to put some here as well because those paper clips are pretty big, just to be sure. Okay, and I'm going to slide this back over and I'm going to I Spy it again top to bottom and make sure it looks about the same. Okay, we'll have a little bit of time to move it. That looks okay right there. And again, we're going to get that little bit of a ledge because the paper clip is in the way. Just go ahead and press that down. I like to use my bone folder. Just really, really get that sticking down. We've got some ooze and glue. The ooze and glue, the ooze and glue. I got the ooze and glue. There we go. Should say, Cara-Renee, do not sing. There we go. I love this image so much. So bright and festive. Okay, and then we're gonna, yep, and then we're gonna do the same on this side. There are so many ways to do paper clips, guys. It's like there's a plethora of information on YouTube. Different techniques, different tricks to make it easier. Simple, complex, anything you could possibly ever want, you could find on YouTube. So I encourage you to just search that, and you'll probably find some stuff you really like. There's one style where they do all of them in a row on a full page, and then they cut them up, which I've done before, and it's pretty nifty. It's very fast. I have a tip I'm going to bring to you about how to do clusters faster. So hoping to do that soon. I just have to have the brain power to put that together, and I don't have it right now. So I'm kind of feel like I'm doing a little bit of busy work, buying some time. So again, just really, really burnish that down, especially at the base of the paper clip. So the paper clip is embedded up here. So we want to make sure we get that opposite edge, okay? And I like using a heavier paper because then the paper clips do not show. So that is our paper clip, okay? And again, oops, just dropped it, hold on. So again, it's going to go on your page like this. And I just did the 2 paper clips because it's such a big paper clip, okay? And I might make more of these because these are very simple. And what's really cool is you could make these with some neutral paper ahead of time. And then all you would have to do is decorate them the way that you want them for your journal. I know a lot of people use book pages and stuff. I'm not a big fan because I've gotten so used to my heavyweight paper that I work with it and I'm just like, oh, this feels so flimsy. So you guys can do that though. It's totally fine. It's also a great scrap buster. So that's really fun. Okay, so that's that. So let's look at our words. I do have my fairy words over here. I had this out, but I'm not sure what I was thinking. It doesn't really go because it's just going to be busy there, and it's just sticking out of my drawer here, just staring at me. So I'm going to grab the fairy. Did they get mixed up with the other stuff? No, they got moved across the room. So give me just a second. Okay, I found 2. I got to fussy cut them out though because I got them cut off of each other but not trimmed up. So give me just a sec. There we go. Just get this inked up. I'm thinking about pulling out some of that beautiful yellow lace that I have that I used in previous video. So I'm just going to reach and grab that as well. Believe it or not, I ran out of room in my lace drawers for this lace, and I can't, so I look at this. This is the lace. I mean, yeah. I can't find my bobbin, my spools that I use. I can't find them to save my life. So let's see what we want to do here. This is going to go on the outside. So, what do we want to do? We could do that. I don't want to do that because I feel like it's taking away from the picture. Now you could wrap it around. See what it would look like wrapped. Nah. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's see if we can just put a piece across here and just put our word on it. I think I'd be happy with that. Like about right there. So the tricky part is you got to then cut this. And because it's on an edge that you can't really trim once it's glued on, I've got to be a little bit more strategic. That should do. We're going to keep this one very simple. I'm just going to put a bunch of glue, Fabri-Tac right here. Okay. Boom. There we go. And then let's look at the other side. I think it would be nice down here. So we'll do the same thing. We'll put a piece down here. Maybe about there. Is that about the same place? Not quite. But I don't, yeah, I got this kind of weird color in here. So I'm just going to cut that on that little divot. See if I can get it straight-ish. Oh yeah, pretty. So right here. Now this paper, I could have used a different paper because there's not much going on this side because it's the paler side of that yellow paper. It's a distressed yellow paper that I got from another digital creator. So let's see. I feel like I want Enchanted Forest over on this side. Don't ask me why. So cute. Love it. Right there. And then we'll turn her over and put Fairy Kingdom on the other side because maybe that beautiful dragonfly is going to fly to the Fairy Kingdom. You never know. Did I ink that? I don't even know. I don't even know if I did. That's okay. Just gonna dab that. I can see there's glue showing through there. It dries clear, but it does dry a little bit shiny when you use Fabri-Tac. So that is our second paper clip. So that is going to be it for today. I will finish that last one off just with that little die cut leaf and some other, maybe a different kind of paper in between the base and the die cut. So you'll be able to see that in the photos at the end of the video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.